Welcome to this edition of Trade with Rob, brought to you by WealthBuildersHQ.com. This update is for Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 2025. Hope you're having a great day. Hope it's been a good trading day for you. As we get started, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. And if you want to keep up with all the latest and greatest we put out on social media there, here's all of the places you could find us out there. So by all means, go ahead and follow the ones that work best for you. All right. So we're going to look first at the S&P 500 and see what the heck did it do today. So we got a massive gap from yesterday's close. Good gap up, shaved bottom, takeoff. We ran back into this fib line, closed at the 8 moving average. If we look at the highest high of the day, we were at a high of 53.0961. 53.11 is our fib line. So no chipping away at the ice today, folks. We did not get that breakthrough. It gives us, if we're looking at it, we have a high, we have a lower high, and if, we can't really count this yet, but if we don't go any further, we have an even lower high, right? We've got a low, a lower low, and a lower low, right? So we're setting up there for that pattern, but we're not there yet. We can't make that determination. You cannot count the candle on the right and say, that's it, it's falling from there. It doesn't work that way. If we roll over tomorrow, there we've got our pattern structured in there, okay? So I want to start off with the candidates from yesterday. The only one that worked out was Netflix. All right, so what happened with Netflix? We closed right around the 618, which was the 984.28 level yesterday, and we gapped way away from this. This has been the problem this year, the last couple of weeks, with all the craziness in the S&P 500. We're getting this massive gap aways, up or down, and there's no trade. The switchback is gone because we gapped away. I put a video out that's in the members area, and if you're not a member of Trade with Rob, it's easy. Go to tradewithrob.com. It's free. Register. You'll get access to the members area. There are 2 main videos in there. The primary one, which is over an hour long, on how to trade this sucker, this switchback trade, and then a high volatility switchback trade setup in there that I went through, which was about 10 or 15 minutes or so inside of there. But it took me a while to come up with the right training for that. I went back through and dug back for years of trainings that I've had, all the way back into the 2000, 2008, when we had all these crazy markets. How was I trading them then? I took those details, built it out into the system, tested it, and it's worked great. And Netflix, first trade out of the gate is a home frickin' run. So we gap up, and what are we looking for? Either fail off of that fib line and drop, or breakthrough, retest, and bounce. That's all I care about. But it's got to be something that happens fairly quickly. It cannot happen later on in the day, 2 o'clock. I'm not really looking for that. I'm looking for fast action one way or another. Well, if we look at a 5-minute candle, we got nada. First 5-minute candle, we gap up, we just keep running. We got no pullback. So there's nothing that failed to the downside. We're only getting the upside push. Right, let's go to a 1-minute candle. And here's the 1-minute candle for today. You can see the 22nd right down there. We gapped up, we closed, we pushed up on the next candle. This fib line was 10.15, we'll call it. We closed on that candle right in there. You know what, let's do this a little bit, right? Let's zoom it in, easier to see. We closed on this candle right here at 10.18, we'll call it. This was 10.15, $3 above. We pulled back. How close did we get on the pullback? We got to a low of 10.15.29. Well, heck, we're talking about 29 and 6, 35 cents away, and we bounced. Yes, ding, 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 winner, winner, right? That's the trade setup. That's what we're looking for. Trade taken today on Netflix, and lo and behold, it winds up being the absolute best trade of our history since we started this back in June of 2024. The absolute best winner we've had yet was this Netflix trade, in at 10.17, out at 10.59. One contract. So if you look at our numbers, we're up 22,769 on Netflix. I'm sorry. Yeah. Netflix was one trade. On our entire account back from June of 24, 93 total winners, 93 total candidates. 75 winners, 15 ones that had gone against us, 3 that were break even, right? So 93 total, an average of $244.84 per trade on our setup. So overall, not too shabby. So if you took that Netflix trade, Roman, I know you're out there. If you took that Netflix trade, absolutely loving it. So let's go back to our daily chart and let's jump in to our first candidate of the day. Let's bring this in. So we do 3 candidates at a time. Let me get rid of this orange bar. That's for power option plays only, so we don't need that here. So we're sitting right near this 277 level. I like this best to the downside, only because overall it's a bearish bias. We got some recovery today, and it wasn't bad, but I like the downside better. Small move down, retest at 277 and fail. You're going to take the trade in maybe at 276. Stop is just on the other side. If support's at 269, my target's going to be about 270, 270 and a half. Somewhere around there. Probably 270 and a half would be the 270 would be too close. 270 and a half would be the closest I'd want it to be. On the upside, if we get the retest and the bounce, take the trade off at the 277. You set your stop down below here. If resistance is at 283, my target's going to be 282. All right, so I like it a lot on Amgen. Right, that's number one. APO is our second one. Right, so on APO, I definitely like the downside better. We're in an overall bearish bias. I do not have a need for a Fibit in here, which is wonderful. So a small move down, doesn't have to be that big of a move down, a retest and a drop. Right, take the trade off of the fail. My stop is going to be right up in here. If support is at 109, my target's going to be about 110, 110 and a half. 110, 110 and a half. On the upside, very loosey-goosey with the pen today. On the upside, pull back, retest, bounce, take the trade off of the bounce, put the stop in below support. If resistance is at 135 and a half, my target's going to be 134. Right? So overall, nice little setup as well. And then last and certainly not least is Mickey D's, McDonald's. Right? Hold on a second. I think I made a mistake. Guys, hold on. So if we move up, retest, bounce, my target is not up here. I have a 128 here. There's the obstacle course. That's resistance. My target's going to be 127. This would be visions of grandeur. Yeah, we can get up there. I know we can. Yeah, maybe, but see, every time we get into that 21, we fail. I don't want to play that game. All right. Now we go back to Mickey D's. Let's scrunch down a little bit. So let's see, 318 to 332. 18, what do we got here? 28, 9, 30, 14 points. Yeah, we don't need a Fibonacci now. I do not need to split that level in half. It's good. We chipped away at the ice, but we've done that a few other times before. I like the upside. Definitely better on this one. So let's start with the upside. Small move up. My crosshair is there. Sorry about that. Let's grab that pen again. All right. Small move up. Retest, bounce. All right. I'll take the trade off of that 318 level. My stop just down below. If resistance is at 332, my target's going to be about 330, probably 329, somewhere in there. Right. On the downside, small move down, retest and fail. Take the trade on the fail. Stop is above the 318 level. If support is at 305 and a half, my target's probably about 307. 307 and a half. That actually is a 3, trust me. It is a 3, okay? Or a partial B, whatever you want to call it. Right there. The line missing on the B there. So there you have it, everyone. Now, I gave you 3 candidates. There are 17 today. If you wanted access to these going forward of all of the candidates each and every day, go ahead and subscribe to Trade with Rob. You'll get an email that says, here are all the candidates. And on days that I don't produce a video, we still pick candidates out. You'll get an email that said, no video today, but here's all the candidates for tomorrow. Right? So with that, make it a profitable day. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, and I will see you all in our next update. Bye for now.